Здравствуйте, как дела? In this video, we are going to be talking about a couple of quick tips and tricks for starting on YouTube, and we are starting right now. So if that's something you're interested in, then stay tuned. So starting out, some of the first key things that you'd like to do is to, just plan out what it is that you want to do. What is it that your channel is going to be about? Figure out the why. The first tip that I have is to learn the why. That is the most important thing that you can do for yourself and for your channel starting out. So a couple of benefits to this is that I have a better idea of what to plan out and what to do. If you are going to be making content that requires you to travel to certain locations, you can plan ahead of time, so then that way you are not cut or caught off by surprise by any misfortunes or anything like that. So make sure that you plan ahead, definitely. The next thing that I highly recommend anyone starting out on YouTube do is to actually learn YouTube, learn the platform. Go check out a couple of videos, watch a couple of videos, and just notice yourself. Notice, what videos come up in your recommendations. Are there any playlists? What videos are included in the playlist? What videos did you like, and why exactly did you like those videos? My best advice, just like in this section of the video, is to be the end user of YouTube. You yourself just test it out and, see how exactly do you go about watching the next video. So this way, when you make your own content, you can sort of have a predictive idea of what the audience, your desired audience, is going to be doing. And so you can sort of put in place certain things like an end screen. Now then, for a lot of creators, YouTube actually comes with analytics that you can check on your own channel. And with these analytics, you can actually see, how your newest video is doing, how many views is it getting. YouTube is actually pretty precise with this, so you can even check to see specifically where in what video people are clicking off to, where people are rewinding the video, and this will come in handy for when you want to make new videos and new decisions. You might think, oh, okay, well, that introduction was too long, maybe I need to shorten it, or people tend to click off at the 4-minute mark, usually when I start rambling on about something, so maybe I will shorten all of my explanations so that they are more to the point. That way I can keep more people on my videos, and therefore on my channel, and therefore on YouTube more. So YouTube will actually recommend your content more often if you are able to keep users on your channel and watching your videos. The next advice that I have for any starting YouTuber this year is to learn YouTube related softwares. So if you perhaps don't have the resources for like Photoshop or something like that, you can use different websites like Canva or even Photopea, which is an online browser that is pretty equivalent to Photoshop, in order to do things like making thumbnails and whatnot. Another helpful YouTube software that I highly recommend is TubeBuddy. TubeBuddy is actually a Chrome extension that you can add on, and what this really does is it allows you to do things like search for keywords, keyword phrases, keyword searches, as well as to see what topics might be trending. This will come in handy for when you're making thumbnails and making new videos, because you want to have something that audiences are going to click on. The next piece of advice that I have for most starting YouTubers, and this is perhaps the most important one, is to learn how to get monetized and how to make money off of your content. I believe that is the reason why most YouTubers tend to start making YouTube videos, at least now. And so with the monetization, you can join the YouTube Partner Program. I believe for that, you just need to have 1,000 subscribers and currently about 4,000 watch hours, which is something that you can actually keep track of and watch, or you can look at it on your YouTube analytics page. But that is definitely something that I highly recommend for people to do. Now, monetization is just a small part, I should say ad monetization is just a small part of the whole YouTube getting paid thing. A lot of you bigger YouTubers tend to do things like marketing and branding. They tend to have associated brands with their channels, as well as they do like a Teesprings or something else along the lines of that. So if you do want to get into like the whole monetization and getting paid for your content, I highly recommend investing the time and effort into learning how to do that, but not just learning how to get monetized specifically, but learning which form of monetization works best for your channel. If you do something like a music video channel, then having straight up monetization from views may be the best. Or if you're doing something like a personal brand type channel, that might not work the best for you. You might want to try and do like an affiliated marketing type of deal. but I highly recommend learning which form of monetization would work best for your content and the things that you are doing, so then that way you can, gain from your channel what's probably the best for you in order for you to grow this year. Now, my next tip might be a little bit controversial, and that is fine. So the big tip here that I have is that you want to make content that you yourself would watch. That's pretty much how I do things. I like to make content that I myself might watch on a bored day after work, or maybe while chilling with friends. But I tend to like to make my content in a way that I know I myself would watch it. I know that people who think like me or who come from the same place as I do might watch this content. You'll be surprised how many people actually get affiliated type of feelings with your content. So definitely make content that you yourself would watch, and not just that you would watch, but you would enjoy. If you're like looking through YouTube and you see a couple of thumbnails and channel subjects that you are thinking, that's pretty cool, I think I might like to look into that later. That's something that I do recommend you write down and you implement that into your why. You try to see, well, is this really something that's lucrative for me? Is this really something that makes sense for my channel? And if it's not, then that's not really something that you need to prioritize. And if it is, then that's something that I highly recommend that you invest more effort into. Now, the last tip that I have here, and this is really critical, is that it is up to you whether or not you succeed on YouTube. A lot of channels, a lot of YouTubers, they tend to burn out very quickly. I highly recommend no multitasking, but taking your time one thing at a time. If you feel fatigued or overwhelmed with any of your video editing, definitely take the time to just have a little hiatus, take a little excursion, leave your content for a little and then come back to it. Because if you stay working and forcing yourself to do it, you might just build a resentment to the content and to your channel. I'm not saying that that's going to happen. Humans do tend to have resentment for things that they don't feel well about. But whether or not you and your channel succeed on YouTube is dependent on you. So you have to find out what works best for you and go with it. So in the description below, I've also included a couple of links to a couple of these softwares that I've mentioned in this video. I know this was just a short video, and this is really not much more than just a quick tips video for any new YouTubers this year. So with that all being said, baka, and have a good day.